guys, it's ElaineAlways, and I am currently working on a new MMV, and I wanted to show you guys how I do lip syncing with the Syrup system. It's really not as complicated as you might think it is. So, first things first, I like to go into an editor like Sony Vegas and isolate the part of the audio that I want to be lip synced. We don't need this whole file being so massive, so I found the part I wanted. The next thing I did is I rendered this out as its own audio file, trimmed to the exact point that I want it to be, and then I usually just name it something like audio track and save it in the folder that is my project folder for that MMV. The next thing I do is go into vocalremover.org. I drop the audio file in here and I save vocals only. This helps to separate instrumental sounds from vocals so that our automated lip syncing program doesn't get confused when it's lip syncing. The next part is kind of stupid, but we're going to drop it back into Sony Vegas or your editing program, and we're going to re-render it as a WAV file or a WAV file. So that just involves going into Microsoft Wave and doing a default template. It doesn't need to be good, it just needs to be a WAV file. So we're going to go ahead and just put vocals. Next thing, we're going to go ahead and go into nonlinear animation. Wait, wrong thing. We're going to go into video editor. We're going to drop this file in here. It's okay to use the MP3 at this point because we just want to hear it and make sure that it lines up. So I'm going to drop this in here. And the next thing we're going to go and do is we're going to select this armature or rig, right? The rig here, named armature. Whoop, down here. Okay, here, let me hide all of these extra collection folders. Okay, so we're going to select this armature right here, and we're going to go down here in the properties panel, go to armature, and right here, if you have installed the add-on for Rhubarb Lip Sync, you can go ahead and use it. If you hadn't, let me go ahead and show you how to do it. It's really easy. You're going to go into preferences, add-ons, install. Now, in my video that shows you how to download or gives you the download link to my original Syrup system, there is a link to the Rhubarb Lip Sync system, and all you have to do is install that add-on. I'm going to run you through the install real quick, and you can skip this part if you don't need it. This is where I keep my Blender add-ons. I go into File Backup, Blender. Doesn't matter, you're going to keep it in your own folders anyways. Add-ons, and I have Rhubarb Lip Sync in here. Now, Rhubarb Lip Sync is a zip file in here, but depending on which version you use, you may have to unpack that or open it. It looks like for this version, we don't have to. So you're just going to click on the zip file of the latest version, and you're going to click Install Add-on. And that should be all it takes to install it. And now you should just click this to enable it, save preferences, and you've installed Rhubarb. Rhubarb is going to show up right here and in this panel here, and it's going to ask you to select the poses for the mouth positions. I've already made a pose library with the mouth positions, so if your pose library is typical and normal and you're not having any issues with that, you should be able to just find them and match them up with this name here if it's not already pre-selected. So you're just going to go ahead and line these up. I put MVP for MVP, and then EEE for etc., EEE for E. You just want to line them up like this. I'm going to pause right here so you can see what it looks like. Now you can choose to do this differently if you want to. It really doesn't matter. The only thing you got to know is that these are mouth poses that the character is going to do based on the mouth switch. So when I get to these areas here, these are my talk mouths, I call them, and these are the ones that it's going to use to lip sync. That's all you need to know about that. Great, okay, now all we gotta do is choose our source file, and for the source file, we're gonna go and find that WAV file, or that WAV file, vocals.wav. Looks good, okay. Let's go ahead and switch from video sequence to timeline. And we're just gonna act like we're about to animate. That allows auto keying. Go into the timeline, select the mouth switch bone, and all you're gonna do is I usually hit save right before I do this to prevent any bad things from happening, any crashes, and I'm just gonna hit Rhubarb Lip Sync. This cute little box is going to show up with where your mouse is. It's going to show little numbers. That just means that rhubarb is calculating. Give it a while. You can ignore it. You can walk away, drink some water. If you have a nice fast computer, it shouldn't put any strain on your computer, so you can go get up and, I don't know, do something else, so you can switch to YouTube, watch some videos. Fine, just chill out. Let it do its thing. Alright, it looks like it's done. The next part, there is one final thing, is you're going to go ahead and click A on this timeline, select all these keyframes, press T and put constant. This allows for there to be no in-between frames with sort of random mouth poses that aren't relevant. It will only use the poses selected. Now hit play. This is genuinely really good, but I am seeing that it's a little stiff around this part here. All we really need to do is go in here and just add a few more keyframes. Okay, so I've done some tweaks and I actually really like the way this looks. I'm going to go ahead and hit play and show you what it looks like. Pretty good, pretty solid. If you want to add more movement, another thing you can do is select this mouth target here, and you can move this around if you want, or you can scale it, and that can create a little more liveliness if you want to do that. So let me show you what that would look like. As you can see, just moving around with this bone does a lot for that motion, just adding a little more liveliness to the way the character talks. So yeah, that's basically how you do automated lip syncing. If you want to add any extra expression, we do have the smirk bone, so if you want the character to sort of come to a smile mid-talking, you can just go ahead and animate that, and it's quite easy. Just do this, like that. So I hope you use that, hope you make the most of it, hope you like this tutorial. Catch me next time. This has been ElaineAlways.
I wanna go back to the sweet beginnings, when I was young and full of it all.